This is a two-part live. Try my best to put this other title up on the screen. I'll try to fit it in the best I can after I do this live stream. So really, this is a two-part live. Thank you for joining me. This is about Riley Strain and Sebastian Rogers. Thank you for joining me. I put a few polls up on my community page. Not too many people have taken the polls. They were uploaded 10 minutes ago. Will Riley's autopsy show legally intoxicated drugs? 60% says yes, intoxicated. No, intoxicated, 0%. Yes, drugs, 0%. No, drugs, 0%. Not sure, neither, 40%. Do you think Riley's family with preliminary autopsy finding? Yes, 50%. No, 50%. Do you think Proudfoots will move away for good? 50% says yes, 50% not sure. Did Proudfoots temporarily move from home? 57% yes, 43% not sure. Were you expecting Riley Strain's death to be accidental or other? Yes, 60% expecting it to be. No, 40%. And think it was suicide, 0, not sure, 0. Thank you for joining me. Let's discuss this guardrail business. Nashville, Tennessee, mayor proposing to putting up guardrails. Will it help? Because as we have seen, there are guardrails up right near the river and up near the sidewalk, and yet people are still finding their ways into the water, which is very strange and odd to me. But I'm not the one going near the water, and still I don't understand how Riley got in the water. It's still baffling to me, and I assume many people will have questions either way of whatever the autopsy would bring forward as far as results. The family, they're probably still baffled, and then if it was deemed foul play, let's say, they still would be baffled. I don't think anyone is really going to be able to dissect what in God's name happened on March 8th, because I'm still baffled either way of what the results. I just don't understand in my own thinking why this person would go near the water. I just don't understand any of it. But here's the information. News Nation is the source, everybody.
Tragic end to a weeks-long search in Nashville. The body of missing college student Riley Strain pulled from the river Friday morning about 8 miles from downtown. Police say the 22-year-old was still wearing the clothes missing 2 weeks ago. No signs of foul play discovered. Riley last seen on surveillance video stumbling along the sidewalk after being kicked out of a bar for being overserved. He told his friends he was going back to the hotel, but he never made it. And now tonight, even as the investigation continues, a push for new safety standards so this never happens again. News Nation's Ryan Bass live for us in Nashville tonight. And Ryan, I know the Strain family just heartbroken over this, and there is urgency tonight around what needs to happen to prevent tragedy in the future. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Natasha, Nashville's mayor and city officials are considering adding guardrails or barricades, basically, down here by the Cumberland River, right near Lower Broadway, which is the popular area of bars here in downtown Nashville. That would be an added safety measure after Riley Strain's body was found in the river about 8 miles, as you mentioned, Natasha, northwest of here just yesterday morning. Donning the color green, which was Riley's favorite, his family spoke on a heartbreaking end to a 2-week search for their missing son.
I just ask that you mamas out there hug your babies tight tonight, please. Please, for me, just hug your babies tight tonight.
Riley Strain's mom, heartbroken, hours after her son's body was pulled out of the Cumberland River in West Nashville Friday morning, ending a 14-day search for the missing Missouri college student. Nashville police and firefighters responded to a call about a body floating in the river around 7:30 Friday morning in the Nations, a neighborhood just west of downtown. They identified it as Strain's body, who had on the same shirt and watch he was wearing when he went missing, police said. They don't believe there was any sign of foul play. Strain's stepfather, Chris, fighting back tears, thanked crews, volunteers, and the Nashville community who worked tirelessly to help find their son and bring the family closure.
The love, the encouragement that you've shown myself and my wife and Ryan and Millie. You don't understand how much that meant to us.
Riley went missing earlier this month during a trip to the Music City with his fraternity brothers. Last seen on surveillance video the night of March 8th, after getting kicked out of a Luke's 32 bridge on Lower Broadway. He was reported missing on March 9th. His body was recovered about 8 miles from downtown in the river. Police said an autopsy is pending to determine how the 22-year-old passed away. More than 50 people gathered Friday night in Nashville for a candlelight vigil to remember Riley, near where he was last seen on March 8th. A close family friend told our Brian Enton on Banfield last night that Riley's body being found was the first step to healing for the Strains.
It's just kind of a fellowship tonight in the house. And I'll be honest with you, I went to the candlelight vigil tonight. It was phenomenal. To hear the conversations that's going on downstairs right now, to where the family can breathe, have normal conversations without just tears erupting, and you're looking at Michelle and you start crying and everybody's crying, and there's a long road ahead of us.
Riley's disappearance caught the attention of so many here in Nashville, Tennessee, including music superstar Carly Pearce, who dedicated part of her set last night as she was performing in St. Louis, Missouri, to Riley and his family, saying, quote, on stage, "I'm thinking of his family, friends, and anybody that knows him here in this room," Pearce said from the stage. "I want to dedicate this next song to them." Natasha, in the next hour, we're actually going to have new details coming up as well on the 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, who was missing just about 25 minutes north of here in Hendersonville, and what officials are trying to do to now find him as well. Natasha.
I know his family is hopeful that there might be some new developments. We appreciate you tracking that, and we'll speak to you next hour about those details. Thank you for watching.
All right, everybody. News Nation is the source of that information. So, as most of you know, Riley was found in the river 8 miles away from the alleged location of a ping on his phone, discovered by a worker under a barge. His body was discovered under a barge. I also asked that question days ago: how long was the body in that area or under that barge? Just still some questions. A preliminary autopsy has been conducted, and it's still saying no foul play. Waiting on toxicology reports in order to make the autopsy final. What will the toxicology reports come back? Will it show that he was legally intoxicated? I think I've brought you information before saying something about doing blood works that they really can't tell if you're legally intoxicated. I think I brought that in another story recently. So will they be able to show that he was legally drunk or not, or just show that he was drinking? Also revealed that he took any type of drug, narcotic, any type of sedatives, medicines, over-the-counter prescriptions. What will the toxicology report say? As far as guardrails, as you can see in that location, the barriers seem very low when you go down that river walk to the river. So one could just easily, climb over and jump in or be pushed over. So will they put up a higher guardrail? Where I have the problem, I was assuming they were going to be talking about guardrails up where the sidewalks are, where he was walking, because as I said before, I'm still baffled as to how he got into the water from the location where his ping came from. So I don't really know directly, was this where they had the concrete pillars and the guardrail, or was it the area that was a little more just marshy and you could just easily slide down into the rocks and then into the water? Which is the actual location? Because this is where I'm puzzled. Because each area that has been shown on different videos by different people, each area up there by the sidewalk does not look the same. As I said, some areas have the concrete pillars, then there's a guardrail concrete barrier after that, and you'd have to climb over that and then go into the trees, bushes, the ledges, then the rocks, then the water. Then another area was just kind of like marshy with bushes. Like, it's kind of hard for me to explain it, but just easier to get into the water from the top if you just slid down or was pushed down or however. So I'm just trying to understand which is the area where he actually went in. Because I was thinking to myself, as I have said before in my commentary, is it possible that the young man walked or straddled down some type of way in the dark and just went in the water on his own? Was he feeling some type of way? Because as I said, when people drink, they go through a lot of emotions. We don't know this young man to know his mental state that night. We don't know what type of mental issues he could have been having, any type of struggles with problems, attitude, disposition. Once again, if he took anything medically or deliberate taking of a drug or narcotic or given something without his permission. So all those things will make a difference in a person's mindset. So and how he got in the water from up there where he was. Now, one could say he went over to a barrier and threw up, or went to an area and threw up, lost his balance, slid down onto the rocks. But then my better half would say, could it be possible that the rocks would have broken the fall? So it's just so many questions, and it just gets really redundant trying to decide, what happened, because if you're not there, you don't have a video surveillance, you don't have an eyewitness. It's just innuendos of assuming how he passed away. Once again, prayers to Mr. Strain, his family, friends, colleagues, because he did have a job, the school, the students, Nashville itself. Thankful for the Cajun Navy for coming in, those who searched. Blessings to all those people. We're going to take a dive into the belly of the beast and listen to the 911 call. And when you look at the comments below the video, they are not nice. I don't think there was one nice comment pertaining to the 911 call of finding Riley's body. The female seemed awfully distant, no empathy for the questions that she was asking the person who found the body, the person who made the 911 call. She just seems oblivious to what the hell was going on, which is the death of someone. Wicked commentary. And as I said, if you read the comments below this video, WKRN News 2 is the source. They're not nice, the comments. And the Queen has commented as well. I agree with one of the commenters, or basically all of them. I don't understand this woman's attitude. I don't know if she's having a bad day or she just has to ask all these questions, which I understand they do have to ask a lot of questions, race, height, what they got on, blah, blah, blah. But she just seems like she just woke up and answered the phone. Let's take a dive into that information. One moment, please. Thank you all so much for joining me.
Following a breaking news alert now, a 911 call just released detailing the moments after the body of 22-year-old Riley String was found in the Cumberland River. Allie Lynch at WKRN.com with the details.
Winnebago Metro Police say Strain's body was found on Friday, March 22nd, 8 miles downriver from where he was last seen. Strain still had on the same shirt he was wearing when he went missing on March 8th after getting kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar on Broadway. The caller, who works at building materials company Wholesome, told the 911 operator he knew it was Strain's body.
My company works on the river. I have just found a dead body. I believe it to be Riley.
Okay. And you said you guys found a dead body?
Yes, ma'am, in the river.
Now, authorities recovered Riley's body from the river on 61st Avenue North. Police say the autopsy report suggests Strain's death appears accidental. Nicole?
Thank you, Allie.
Okay, that's not the whole 911 call. Hold on, let me see if I can find that, because it's here it is.
Application of your emergency.
Yes, ma'am. I'm at 1340 61st Avenue North, Nashville, Tennessee. I just
61st Avenue North in the nation's office of city.
Yes.
Okay. And what happened?
My company works on the river. I have just found a dead body. I believe it to be Riley.
Okay. And you said you guys found a dead body?
Yes, ma'am, in the river. We have no borders at this facility, and I was checking around my job. It's definitely got a person hair, black shirt, kind of like a white, muddy looking on the front. It's face down in the water. Yes, ma'am.
It's a
Caucasian.
It looks like a male.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is he right on the what is it called?
Yeah, he's on the front of my port barge. I'm at river marker 184 on the Cumberland River.
You said river marker 184.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me 1 second.
My company has requested only police and rescue personnel only on site.
How interesting is that? Only personnel rescue on site. Isn't that interesting? Now, some might think she was being rude here. She asked like 2 times about the body, which may have thrown some people off listening to this 911 call, then asking what it looks like. So one would say maybe she should have worded it different. Like, can you describe to me what the person is wearing? Because when you say, what does it look like? That makes a person think you don't know that he said it's a dead body. So maybe her wording should have been a little bit better. I would say her wording should have been better. What is the victim wearing? Then she should have asked, can you tell the race of the person, and or if it's a male or a female? You have to know how to talk. I don't know if she didn't understand this during training or not, but it is what it is. But I find it very interesting because I just caught this. He says, I want only rescue personnel. Interesting. So wonder if he's giving a hint. They don't want any other busybodies running over to the scene, which naturally, she's not supposed to be putting out any type of APB to YouTubers or anybody else. Hey, go over there because there's a body found. I just find it interesting he says that. Let's go back for just a second.
My company has requested only police and rescue personnel only on site.
His company requests police and rescue only. Wow. So that would exclude family members, any searchers, the Cajun Navy, anybody legitimately searching, anybody that searched because they felt like searching. Very interesting. Rescue and police only. How about that? I wonder why he said that. Wonder why the company wanted just the rescue and the police only. Didn't want a circus. So that also means the media. That excludes the media. Media, random people, bloggers, the family, so on and so forth.
All right, so I already had this call up. I have it at 1740, 61st Avenue North in the Nation's Office Centennial. What is the name of this? Is there a name on the building or?
Yeah, there's a sign out front. It's called Holston.
You said Holston? Holston?
HOLC.
Okay. Well, is he completely submerged, or is he right on that, like the bed? Not the bed, but like is he partially in the water, partially out of the water?
No, he's fully submerged beside his back sticking out of the water. I actually had to move a log off of the head to confirm it was a body.
Okay.
So it's obvious that when items were removed, he said he had to move a log from the head and the barge out of the way. Possibly he's been there for a while. His body didn't move, flow continuously down the river around the barge because this barge, I'm sure it's pretty long, was in the way. So now I ask the universe, how long was he submerged in that general area under the barge?
I'm gonna get somebody out there, okay?
All right, I'll make them up top. I'm gonna make my way up from the river in just a few minutes.
Okay. All right, I'll let you know.
All right, thank you.
Very sad situation. Once again, prayers to the family. That's the information pertaining to Riley Strain. Once again, he was found in the Cumberland River, 8 miles up near Tennessee State University. Barge moved. Man removed a log that was on the head and calls it 911. The company requested no one show up but rescue and police. Very interesting information. Let's go over to Hendersonville, Tennessee, to talk about the latest information pertaining to this young man, Sebastian Rogers. I'm going to play a few videos pertaining to the search, Cajun Navy searching, random people searching, dog hits since. You're entitled to leave your opinion pertaining to this information. I think I want to do, it's been 1 month, so let's go there. Hold on 1 second. Trying to see if I can find that one. All right, 1 month he's been missing, everybody. Sebastian Rogers, 15 years of age, autistic boy, Caucasian male, still missing.
Asking what happened to Sebastian Rogers, and this morning the search for the missing teen is intensifying. Joylyn Bukovac is live from TBI headquarters. So Joylyn, the Amber Alert that was issued weeks ago, it is still in effect this morning.
That's right. It's been 1 month since Sebastian Rogers' family saw him at their home in Sumner County, and now the nonprofit organization that helped in the search with Riley Strain is now helping for this search as well. We're talking about the United Cajun Navy, and they help with relief efforts for natural disasters and missing persons cases like this one. They say their team has been out over the weekend with search dogs, and several other volunteers were searching on foot as well, including one Hendersonville mom who says she also has a son that's autistic, and she's hoping Sebastian is found soon.
I can't sleep. I cannot focus. I'm having dreams about Sebastian.
And the United Cajun Navy has not told us where they're searching or if they found anyone yet, how long they're going to be there, and how many people are searching, but we will continue updating you as soon as we learn more. For now, reporting live in Nashville, I'm Joylyn Bukovac, WSMV4.
All right, Cajun Navy in the area to search for this young boy. Don't know how long they're going to be there. Don't know how many searchers they need. Lawfish, I do not believe they want others to be searching for this young boy. They want people to trust the process of law officials doing the job. WKRN News 2, once again, is the source of this information. United Cajun Navy joins the search for Rogers, uploaded 16 hours ago. Thank you for joining me.
County teen Sebastian Rogers was reported missing. Now, new efforts are underway to help find him. News 2's Nikki McGee has what we know as investigators approach the 1 month mark in the search.
As the search for missing University of Missouri student Riley Strain comes to an end, another mystery remains: the whereabouts of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers.
Sebastian's father reached out to us and asked for help, and so we're going to try to help up there as much as we can.
Now, some of those who assisted in the search for Riley are putting their best foot forward to help bring Sebastian home. The United Cajun Navy couldn't elaborate on exactly where they're sending search crews. However, on Sunday, members tell News 2 they have drones and canines assisting.
I just want to find my son.
Just ahead of the weekend, Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, told News 2 about his efforts, including passing out flyers in Nashville and following up on a tip in Henderson, Tennessee.
All I know is that he has disappeared out of his mother's house, and it's my job to find him.
I'm going to stop right here. Thank you for joining me. Henderson, Tennessee. First of all, who gave that tip? A bunch of that information over the weekend pertaining to this park that's over an hour or so away. Who gave that tip? Is it legitimate? Why there? What's the truth to that information? And why do you not see the parents, the mother and the stepfather out helping search with Mr. Seth and other people? Also now the Cajun Navy. Will there be any other organizations coming to join to help the search? Is the police, sheriff's office pleased with random people coming to search? I don't think that they are, because they're saying, please trust the process. They don't want you trampling on any type of evidence, because naturally if you find something, so Tucker that found a bank card for Mr. Riley, you then have to have law officials come over, survey the area, and you've trampled on it, which some people I'm sure were very happy to find that bank card, that the bank card was found. But the point is, you're now trampling over a place where we didn't know how the card got there by the person. They fell, rolled, pushed, whatever. Once again, no foul play with Mr. Strange, but just principle. They don't want random people walking around. You could get hurt. As you see, the terrain is very different in each location as far as looking for a person.
Also working towards that goal, EquiSearch Midwest, searching both the ground and by drone. Coordinator Twyla Cisco sharing this message from Sebastian's mother 2 weeks ago.
The pain of our son's absence is beyond words. We ask that everyone everywhere remain aware and continue to look for anything that can help us find Sebastian, and pray we bring him home.
From a more than 2,000-mile ground search in the days after his disappearance to looking at a Kentucky landfill earlier this month. Signs like these encourage the community not to give up hope.
First and foremost, we'd like to see Sebastian found safe and sound. You know, that's, I think, everybody's hope, and that's always our hope.
As the 5th week of searching for Sebastian begins, the United Cajun Navy hopes a fresh set of eyes just might make all the difference.
And we're just people helping people. We have a lot of different skill sets and a lot of different areas. And I think our biggest thing is our dedication.
Okay, dedication. Thank you for joining me. Just showing you random videos pertaining to the latest updates of Sebastian Rogers. Cajun Navy now stepping in to help Mr. Seth. He requested their help. Thank you so much for going over to this jurisdiction to help Mr. Seth. I would say help the family, but then I have to stipulate who I'm saying is family at this point. You do not see the Proudfoots speaking publicly to the news as you have seen Mr. Seth speaking. Why is that? Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot, why are you not speaking to the public? You are adamantly speaking to YouTubers, talking to random YouTubers, which is baffling to many people. But it's expected of people who probably have something to hide, or they are trying to orchestrate the storyline, which many people love to use the word, the narrative, because it doesn't make logical sense. You said weeks ago you were not going to speak publicly, but yet you're talking to YouTubers who are filming you on a public platform called YouTube. Make it make sense. This man is out diligently searching, getting anybody he could find, random people jumping on the bandwagon to go look for the child. And yet you all are not talking. You gave a statement 2 weeks ago about searchers. It is now a month that your son has been missing. Stepson has been missing. And you cannot speak publicly to a news agent, WKRN, Fox Nashville, somebody, CNN, CBS Morning News, ABC, 2020, somebody. He refused to talk to a legitimate news source. Why is that? I'll wait. YouTube. Won't speak publicly about your own child missing. Then there's rumors that you all are out with a camper, have left. We'll get to that here shortly. But this is sad and it's pathetic. And it shows a lot of people that you do not care for your child. That is the message that you are sending. Now, naturally, you will say that you all have it wrong. You don't know us, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, seeing is believing sometimes. And everything's about perception. So the perception by some or many is that you do not care. Perhaps you do know the whereabouts of the child. Perhaps you harmed the child. I don't know what you've done with the child, what you know about his disappearance. I can just say it doesn't look good. And you do look like you're involved in the disappearance and possibly the harming of a child and discarding of a child, your child. Sebastian Rogers, say his name. Frustration, plural. Surface in the search for Sebastian Rogers, nearly 1 month. Fox Nashville is the source. Thank you for joining me, everybody.
Eyes that we have out here to be able to locate him will be a whole lot better.
Frustration surfacing in the search for Sebastian Rogers as nearly a month has passed since the 15-year-old with autism went missing from his home in Sumner County. Today, Sebastian's biological father and a group of volunteers searched again near the Rockland Recreation Area in Hendersonville for any clue leading to Sebastian. This, as they say, private tracking dogs alerted to a particular spot this weekend that they say hasn't yet been checked out by law enforcement. County leaders responding, saying that the volunteers need to, quote, trust the process. As the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and TBI scaled back the ground search for Sebastian Rogers to focus more on the investigative side of his disappearance, his biological father, Seth Rogers, continues to coordinate search parties in the weeks since.
Before I let this gentleman speak, law officials want you all to trust the process, basically saying they don't want you all out there searching. You're entitled to your opinion of that information. Search dogs hit on an area. Is it legitimate? What did they use to give to the search dog for the dog to hit on that area? A sweater, a shirt, a brush, a comb, what? Curious. Once again, why are the parents not out searching for their son, Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot? And how does the father, Mr. Seth, feel about no interaction of these parents to the news, to the general public, searching, not meeting with the people, not going to thank anyone? Hi, my name is Mr. Proudfoot. My name is Mrs. Proudfoot. How are you doing, sir? Nice to meet you, the Cajun Navy. Glad to have you aboard. This is kind of a rendition of Summer Wells all over again. Rescue squad coming in, and you're not getting any type of positive feedback from the bio parents, which makes no sense. Somebody has traveled to come look for your child. They don't know the child, don't have anything invested, but they're trying to help find your child for the common good. And you don't even go out to meet the people, say hello, bring them a soda pop, a cheesecake, a muffin, cookie, nothing. This is just a repeat, this story. And you also hear from Mr. Hyatt, Mr. Peter Hyatt. I would love to play his content without getting mine flagged for playing his content, but people really need to listen to his rendition of his feedback on the parents' interview. It's a very poignant piece. And that's one of the questions in his information. There's no rallying for the kid. There's no speaking about the kid. Self. I. You don't hear Sebastian in any of the commentaries. Just about me, what I got going on, what happened yesterday, 5 years ago. That's not the subject. It's not the subject.
Law enforcement only has so many people. So it's us as a community, as well as a family, to be out there searching and to assist as much as we possibly can.
This weekend, a focus on the Rockland Recreational Area, about 6 miles from Sebastian's home, where Sebastian's mother and stepfather, Katie and Chris Proudfoot, believe he walked off in the middle of the night. Investigators saying they found little, if any, trace of the teen. Sebastian's father telling me today that the initial search radius was about 5 miles and that he wants to scour as much area beyond that as possible.
We just want to find Sebastian. That man.
What you got to ask yourself is the obvious. When you start talking about 5 miles, 6 miles, would a child travel that far by foot? We know the smaller children, they have a little pace about them, toddlers. They can run a little ways. I remember a child went missing a while back, a few years ago, and they found the child out in the woods, and the child had got quite a bit of momentum on, I believe it was a little girl running, through the woods. And by the grace of God, the child was not, attacked by wild animals. So you have to use deduction. This is a 15-year-old mindset, thought process. One, would he be outside? Why do these parents think he walked out the door? He walked out into the cold with a flashlight on a keychain. Don't know how big the light was on the keychain. Allegedly, the keychain's missing. All shoes accounted for, but he's not known to run away. So why would you even think that he went out the door? And that's why I asked the question about CCTV footage on their home, security camera, motion sensors on the home. Do they have these items? Because then one's going to say, well, what did the feedback come back on the data of movement going in and out of a door, the time, so on and so forth. I've yet to hear any of that back, that they even have security cameras on their house, back of the house, motion sensors. So you have to ask all those questions in order to make the story make some type of sense, and nobody's brought a receipt yet, which I find baffling. Because that would be the first thing I would tell the public. I do have a camera, I don't have a camera. Motion sensors don't have motion sensors. Make it make sense. Why did the mother say the child walked out of the house? Many people ask that day one. I heard that before I even started talking about this story. Why did she say the child walked out? The child has an issue with feet and ground and dirt and bugs. Why would he go out? So you could either say he ran out for safety, ran out of fear, carried out, drugged out, or carried out. Take your pick.
Over there is broken. He needs his son back.
Nonprofit search group, the United Cajun Navy, already in town for the Riley Strain case, joined in the search effort for Sebastian Saturday. Telling me 2 of their tracking dogs appear to hit on a spot.
When the dog had to hit, everybody got out of the area so law enforcement could come in and do their job. Did they do that? I don't know. I'm not sure. But I feel like it was something that should have been, if not, been checked into.
No comment.
I do believe this is a couple of miles from the home. So one would say, as I just said, what was given for the dog to hit at that area? I would have to have something belonging to the person in order to give a hit, I would assume. Because you got different people walking about, you got different things that can walk through the area. So what was given for the dog to use as, well, I would say bait? What was used? Is this an official? Did the child make it this far out? I don't know. But like I said, if the child has a certain particular way about himself with shoes, socks, I can't see the child traveling far, especially not 5-6 miles. That's going to be a lot of walking. That's going to be winded. And you're talking about basically walking bare feet through on concrete and or through the grass.
Information from the Sumner County Sheriff or TBI on whether they followed up on that lead, but a source with the United Cajun Navy says since the land is federal representatives would need to accompany law enforcement on any of their searches, and that could happen this week. Meantime, Sebastian's father and his team are given access inside this warehouse.
Sebastian, son.
But there are concerns among county officials over the search volunteers about safety, complaints over trespassing, and possibly compromising any kind of evidence or scene that might surface. Today, County Commissioner Don Schmidt asking for volunteers to, quote, leave the search to professionals. That did not go over well with many online followers of Sebastian's case or volunteers actively trying to find him.
I'm not going to stop.
Well, TBI did release a statement, a lengthy statement, just 2 days ago, saying investigators continue to follow up on any tips and leads they receive daily, nearly 250 of them so far, and review information as Sebastian's case. They said much of the work they're doing to track down Sebastian is not something that you will necessarily see in the public eye.
All right. Fox Nashville 17 is the source. So, law officials do not want people trampling on land due to safety concerns, trespassing on government property, federal property, private property, which many people are particular here in the South and many regions, when you're trespassing on their land, they do not want you walking about, pillaging about. You saw the father going in a warehouse, very noble of the person who owns the warehouse to let him in to search. He didn't have to do that, whoever owns the property, but they did. Nothing. Online people not happy. Well, you know, people online always have something to say. Do they not? Of course they do. So should these people be going on private land? Because you don't really know it's private or federal. You're not from the area. You're not familiar with the area. And you trespassing, and God forbid you come across you a nice little hillbilly with a rifle, and then next thing you know, it's on like Donkey Kong. You do have to be careful here in the dirty South, trespassing and going on to private property, federal property. The police talks about just because you don't see us out does not mean we're not working on the case. Right now, they're working the investigative side. So that will lead you to understand the obvious. It's an investigation. Still an Amber Alert out for the young boy. That you don't have to see us out for us to prove to you that we are working on the case, trying to find the young man. What do they have so far, investigators? Do they have a suspects? Do they think they have an idea where the child could be? Any type of leads, data to show anyone coming, going, transferring of a body perhaps, locales that keep being visited? What do they have as far as GPS on cars, vehicles, cell phones? Cell phones belonging to Sebastian. Lots of questions to ask. So far I brought you information pertaining to the United Cajun Navy joining, random people searching, frustrations from the community. And then we're going to get to what most of you love, is the he said and the she said pertaining to this case and other true crime cases. Please check out my movie of the week, Hostile Advances. The Carrie Ellison story. It is free on the Freebie app. Please go into your Roku device and TV to check out this movie. It is almost a 30-year-old movie. Very good movie based on actual events. That is my weekly movie suggestion. Hostile Advances. The Carrie Ellison story. Free on Freebie. Just download the app and log on into this free movie. Also, for those of you who need information about sexual harassment, I also uploaded this video that's in the queue from 7 years ago, how to handle harassment accusations in the workplace. Lordy have mercy. Now, here comes the gossip and the he said and the she said. Hold on one second, everybody. Evil Exists has uploaded this pertaining to seeing the parents in a trailer attached to their automobile. I don't know if he's taking it down or not, because I had it up here. Now I don't see it for some reason. Hold on one second. Going through all the videos that I watch, I don't see it. He must have taken it down. Let me go over to his channel and see if he's got it up. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $sign began to 129 Cash App. Signals and chats are always welcome during the live stream. 2-part live. Raleigh Strain and Sebastian Rogers. Let's see if he's got it up. I think he's taking it down. I don't know. Yeah, he's taking the video down, or he's got it on private. Well, on his channel, the video is talking about the parents leaving. Allegedly, someone's taking pictures of the family, Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot. Sorry, everybody. Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot with a trailer attached to their truck. Also eating out in a public restaurant, which is their choice. Naturally, everybody has to eat. So were they going somewhere out of town? Just curious. Were they going somewhere out of town with the camper attached to the truck? Curious. Are they leaving town temporarily? Leaving town for good? Please take the polls on my community channel because I have those polls posted. For those who don't watch my network and they're just scrolling through the YouTube queue, feel free to watch or take the polls if you like. Are they moving? Are they going temporarily? Are they tired of the rhetoric? What's going on with these people? Please check out my content from this weekend pertaining to my personal thoughts of these people. My feelings have not changed pertaining to the Proudfoots. I don't care for their behavior as far as not speaking about the child, not speaking to the news, not speaking to radio stations. I see what you're saying in the chat about Nancy Grace. Thank you so much for the information. Anywho, I just have a problem with these people talking to YouTubers. Now, naturally, I'm a YouTuber. It's great for likes and views. Most people know that a lot of people aren't really genuinely caring about the story. And I say that because everything's about how you navigate and how you carry a story. So one would look at these people and think the same as the people who bring in the story. Are these people really invested in the story? Are the people who are supposed to be the parents invested in the story, which is their son? And one would say no, because it doesn't make any sense to not talk to the news, a news agent. What's wrong with WKRN? You talked to them before, so well, what's the problem now? So why not want to talk to them? I don't really understand why you don't want to talk to the news, why you don't want to talk to the radio stations, why you're not going to the schools talking to people in the community, going to the church, having rallies. Are you a part of church? Do you go to church? Are you Christian? Do you believe in God? Most people who have missing children, they have all kinds of people rallying behind them. This is bizarre to me. This is the South, for God's sake. This is the dirty South. Now, maybe they're not from the South, so they don't really know how we navigate down here. But we sometimes try to pretend we're good old country folk, good old Christians. I declare. So why not blend in? Make it look like you care about your child, Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot. You refuse to go out and search for your child. Why? Pass out flyers. Why? I mentioned it. Did the woman work? Somebody in the chat said she does work. She has a job. Well, one would look at this situation with them getting in the camper. She followed him in a car, allegedly, if that is true. If that's true, one would say, well, where are they going? Setting up camp somewhere nearby in a campground, private property, private land, personal land, open land, general area, out of the area. See, you don't know unless you follow them down the highway. Just saying. Thank you very much, sweetheart. Are they leaving their home temporarily or permanently? Camping out somewhere nearby to get away from people watching the house, stalking? Because as you see, somebody took a picture of them in a restaurant. So now you're invading their privacy, following them around. Very dangerous. Because what you have to always remember about the people you like stalking for a video and views, even the news, if they unalive the child, that should tell you something about their character. Do you really want to be following a murderer around? I'm just saying. Say, well, you want to follow a baby killer around taking pictures? Now, we know a coward will kill a kid. Most definitely. And I'm sure some of you would think that. Well, they're not going to kill an adult. They'll just kill a baby, kill a 15-year-old, kill a toddler. Whoa, kill an adult. Never say never. Because desperate people do desperate things. And naturally, they're probably tired of you all running around, gawking, looking. They know eventually you're going to start coming around that house. See, nobody pays attention to the story. This is why I always sometimes just listen to the commentary. I look at other people's content pass through, look at the chat, look at other people's, information, the news. I look at the comments, and I see how many people don't really pay attention to the information. Oh, Lord, it's so obvious. It didn't dawn on you why they would pack a camper. Come on now. You all are just talking and talking and talking. You're making videos about us. You're going live every 5 seconds talking about us. Somebody said he was complaining on social media about somebody always putting up the cash app, needing $10. As Mr. Peter Hyatt said, well, why are you worrying about that? Why are you worried about what people are saying about you on the internet? Why don't you get out here and talk about your child? Why aren't you rallying for your kid? Why aren't you passing out flyers? Why aren't you searching? You're worried about what a YouTuber's doing with the cash app. You should be worried about your kid. Nobody ever pays attention. See, you're looking at the YouTube stuff. Lord have mercy. He's watching social media because he needs to know what you all are doing out here. He needs to know what Queen is doing. I'm not doing much of nothing because I'm not getting ready to travel over there. I didn't do it with Summer Wells, and I don't see me doing it with Sebastian Rogers. I don't got time for all that nonsense. Because it becomes a spectacle, and I don't want no parts of all that. Nothing wrong with wanting to ask people questions. Hey, how you feel about this and that? But I'm not going to start trampling on people's property, peering through windows, standing outside with bullhorns and poster boards. I don't rock like that because I know that type of karma, it can come back. Because you always have to remember, if you do it to somebody, eventually it'll be done to you. That's life. You can get your point across without having to do all that. So they already know what's getting ready to come. That's probably why they have left. Ding, 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 ding. Checkmate. Oh, here comes the cavalry. Here they come. Getting ready to bring Paul, Pookie, Ray Ray, Bubba. We got to go. Because now they got that old YouTuber that loves jumping on lawns. We got to go. He'll be coming next. Want to peer through the window, ring the doorbell. I keep trying to tell you all, you better be very careful about going on people's private property trying to sell a video and get you 5 minutes of fame and a view because it might cost you later. I think some of you need to watch talk radio. It's a perfect example of why you have to be very careful what you say publicly. Naturally, it's a public opinion. You have your First Amendment right, but it can catch up with you. Because there's always going to be somebody that don't like what you're saying. And really, you don't even have to say anything. You could just show these videos I'm showing and never give an opinion. Just say, hi, I just like to show you what they're saying on Fox Nashville. Play the video, and never once do I give my opinion. Somebody still will be upset and disgusted that I showed the video because you talking about the story. Now, as for Mr. Proudfoot, he likes the attention. He's reveling in the attention. He likes this. Now, is he behind the disappearance of this child? I don't know, but it don't look good. Because he's too invested in what people have to say on social media, and that's not a good thing. You don't get run and look at Facebook and what people have to say and invite them to message you, but you won't even speak about the child. That makes no sense. Oh, I watch what they say. I want to know what they're saying. No, you want to know how to respond later to the allegations. And we've heard all types of allegations allegedly. I haven't listened to all the interviews because I enjoy sleeping. I enjoy my private time quite a bit. And I don't really like doing all that fishing and hunting for interviews. Because what did I always say? And I'm going to keep saying this. The truth needs no explanation. Say it again, Queen, because nobody listen. The truth does not need an explanation. Meaning, you don't have to keep repeating the same damn story over and over to every damn YouTuber with 2 feet, 2 hands. How many times you gonna keep telling the same damn story? Oops, I forgot. Then you add something extra. Then you take something away. You don't got to keep repeating it. Say it again, Queen. You don't have to keep repeating the same damn story about how the little boy got gone. So why the hell do I need to sit here and watch every damn interview they do? Luckily, I have so many people that love to tell Queen the good news. You got to hear what they said. It's just like Summer Wells all over again. You got to hear what they said over here. Then she got on a panel and the grandma was in the chat and she said this and he said that and Pookie said this and Ray Ray said this. They got a camera attached to the truck and she was driving behind the truck in a white car, a white truck, a white horse. Damn. Give it a rest. They like it. Ain't you to figure that out? This is about to be a Summer Wells repeat. Oops, it already is. Shut your mouth. I'm going to keep feeding you because you're so thirsty and hungry for information. I'm going to talk about my life in the past. I'm going to talk about what happened with all the wives I had and CPS, and I got history over here and history over there, and yeah, I'm trying to get custody of my child and woo, woo, woo. Don't you see what's going on? As Mr. Peter Hyatt said, Mr. Peter Hyatt, if you're out there somewhere, I just want to say hello to you. I want to thank you for that video you made last week because you sure told the truth. I'm going to talk about everything before you go bring it up. Because I know you nosy MS are digging in my business and you all up in my Kool-Aid worrying about my wives and my children and who don't like me and who want custody and I want custody. I'm going to talk about it before you bring it up so that way I'm going to stun you when you bring it up and I already going to say, oh yeah, yes, I'm trying to get custody of my kid. Because some of you think he just going to be so startled when it comes up. Okay? But no. He's not going to be stunned because he's a narcissist, as what I'm gathering. He likes the attention. He's feeding off the attention. He likes the attention. And possibly doing more talking than the mother. And as I told you all before in my last video pertaining to Sebastian, you don't really know who's the orchestrator of this madness, if indeed you believe these two unalived the child. Because the mother is with him the most. So far, you know, she's the one that's really irate, short-tempered, fed up, tired. Oh, the stepdaddy's gone most of the week. So he only has to deal with the kid all of what? 2 days? Not even a whole 2 days? The daddy's got a temper, says Mr. Peter Hyatt. Short-tempered. He told us he was brash. See, he's feeding you who he is before you come repeat gossip. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'm short-tempered. I get hot. I get heated. Because I know you're going to start digging around and start asking people personal stuff about me. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw it on out there. Oh, I agree with you, Peter. You are right on the money about that. He told you I'm brash. Some people may say I'm brash. Well, okay. Everybody's entitled to their interpretation. But he threw it out there because he knew you were going to find that out. You were going to learn that in his conversation. But the one thing you don't see in their conversation is concern, empathy about the child. You don't hear, could you please bring my child back to me? That's my child. I want him home. If you have my child, could you please return my child, please? So, if these two had nothing to do with the disappearance of their son, what do they think happened to him? He walked out, ran out. I was listening to Peter Hyatt, and he threw out something that was interesting, and I think I heard one person mention it before, that perhaps the mother locked him outside of the house. Because naturally, everybody's got a perception of a person and what they think happened. The mother locked him out of the house. Now, why would she be locking her child out of the house? This is Peter Hyatt's rendition of what happened to the child. He says, you know, Pat Brown thinks it's something nefarious by the family, but he thinks because of this man's past with DHS, his temper, blah, 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 that possibly he told the wife, teach him a lesson. Lock him outside. And the fact that they mentioned something about him going to the trash can. He would be outside for that. I didn't watch that interview because I really don't like listening to. I listened to you one time. That's enough. I don't need to listen to every interview. Some people feed off of that. Some of you all feed off of that. That's not my kind of hype. Because if I listen one time and I don't get a good feeling, I don't need to keep listening to somebody keep giving interviews. Well, what is the point? At some point, it's entertainment for some. And really, that's all most of this true crime is if you are paying attention. It's just entertainment for some. And some of you will say that. Oh, I really don't like this, but I go watch it anyway. Then you have to ask yourself, does that make sense? To watch it anyway? You're feeding the flames. But hey, we're all human. He'd be outside to empty the trash. Well, of course, how can you empty the trash without going outside? So maybe I need to listen to that context to kind of understand what that was supposed to mean. What am I supposed to take from he went outside to empty the trash? So were you saying that he went outside to empty the trash and what, got lost, got mad, or used it as a ruse to run away? Or he went outside and then you deliberately locked the door? Teach him a lesson. I don't know. Still sad. Kind of cold, wouldn't it be to lock a child outside? And I know it's been done before. I could spin a story about a child locked outside of the back porch. Stepped outside for a quick minute and the mother locked the child out deliberately to spite the child because she was a cold bitch. And the child is knocking on the door. Mommy, let me in. Because the mother was so vengeful. That's how she got her rocks off. Doing cold, malicious shit to this one child that she despised. And the one thing this woman never could understand, that these little things that you were doing to the child would mark the child eventually. This is why we all behave and act the way we do. Because of things done and said to us. But then as we become adults, people always say, well, what's wrong with you? Why you act like that? Why you talk like that? Well, it's probably because of some old childhood trauma that we hope went away, got away, but never left. But see, when you become an adult, nobody cares about what happened to you as a child, what your mother did to you, your father did to you, what your uncle, auntie did to you, who mistreated you, how many foster homes you went through. We want you to act right because you're grown. But, you know, you do have to kind of say, well, damn, what do you expect? When you mistreat kids, you expect them to go out here in the world and act like they got some damn sense. Doesn't work like that. But then we judge people when they do crazy shit, hurt kids. Because usually hurt people hurt people. Who says that? Dr. Phil. Hurt people. Of course. Because they don't get any help. And that's what's wrong with the world. That's why you have children being unalived by their parents, the caretakers, because usually the parents were mistreated. And so they're mimicking how they were treated. So now we got to go in the Billy the Beast and ask foot. Were you all abused as children? Two kindred spirits linked up. Because in the end, as I've said before pertaining to parents, you got to sign off on it. Can't keep blaming somebody else and say, well, it's all her, it's all him. Nah. You're riding that same donkey ride with them. So at some point, you just can't keep using the excuse, I'm mistreated by my husband, or I'm mistreated by my girlfriend, I'm mistreated by my wife, I'm mistreated by my boyfriend. You want to get beat up by a man? That's your business. But when you have children, can't keep using that excuse. Okay, you fear them, you're scared of them, but you have children. You're just gonna keep letting somebody beat you up and then you think they're not gonna beat your children up? Come on now. You gotta know better than that. Two kindred spirits meet. And perhaps one is docile and being taken control of. I don't know. So you could say, oh, it's the woman. She's scared of him. You don't know that. You don't know these people. Somebody close to her would have to tell you that. For all you know, she's the mean one. They're both mean. Peter thinks there was an altercation. He thinks something went down in that house It was a duel. Somebody lost. And I guess you could say that would be Sebastian. So what happened in that house? Because if there's no scent of the child outside the door, back door, driveway, we have a problem. So, or any, it's actual, factual. It's your interpretation of what you believe. Cruel mother, cruel stepfather, cruel father, docile mother, going along with the program, but you're still a co-conspirator. Peter believes that the stepfather is the problem. He's the dominant character of the pack. He's the wolf. He's the orchestrator. He's the mean one. She's doing whatever he says. Possibly. But who's going to tell it? You know the only way it's going to get told, right? Is if there's evidence, an indictment, an arrest of two parties, and somebody decides to flip. And then you're still stuck with trying to decide who's telling the damn truth. If somebody even confesses to murder, if indeed there's a murder. Lord have mercy. Abuse of a child. What's this child abused? Peter Hyatt went in the belly of the beast, and he has gone in a place that some people haven't gone pertaining to talking about Sebastian. See, everybody's talking about the interviews, how the father acts, what they're not doing. You're not asking the right questions. So let the queen enlighten you. Because I agree with most of what Peter has said pertaining to the past of the parents. And what, number one, has DHS been called on either parent? Have they abused the child? Were they abusing the child up until his disappearance? Has the child told anybody that he was being abused? Did anybody witness them abusing the kids? Have they abused other children? Has this man abused other children, Mr. Proudfoot? Can anybody bring allegations of him abusing children? Domestic abuse, bullying, pushing, shoving, you get the point. Bruises on Sebastian. Did he ever go to school or anywhere invisible with any bruises? Did all his physicals check out? What's his level of understanding and capacity to navigate? I've talked about that before. See, these are the questions nobody's talking about. What is really going on with these people and Sebastian? How did the child act towards the parents? How did they act towards him? How did they talk to him? Did they touch him, hug him, pat him on the head, wished him well, congratulated him for doing a good deed? Take him out, amusement parks, functions, vacations. How did he interact with other family members? Did he interact with Mr. Proudfoot's family? Did Mr. Proudfoot ever bring other family members around? Neighbors, friends, church, involved in church, school activities. See, ain't nobody asking none of those questions. And this is why I know there's something wrong with the story, because ain't nobody talking about nothing I've mentioned. You just talking about Proudfoot and wives and something about DHS and some custody, but you ain't going deep in the root of what is probably the damn problem. You got to ask the right questions. Did they abuse the kid? Were there ever visible marks where somebody's whipped them, spanked them, punched them, slapped them? In public around the stepfather, excuse me. How did he act behind closed doors with the stepfather? How did they talk to the boy? Hello, good morning. How did you sleep? What would you like for breakfast? Or was it just the child was navigating on his own in the house? Why aren't you hearing about any friends of the child? Hi, I'm the neighbor down the street, and my son sometimes and play, and sometimes I take him to the ice cream parlor, the movie theater, the zoo. You ain't heard none of that. Don't you find that strange? You haven't heard one relative come forward to talk about a positive situation with Sebastian Rogers, and you haven't heard anything negative either. But this is what I'm saying. When you don't hear anybody speaking on a child's behavior, you don't hear of an interaction with a child by another child or an adult, you need to be very leery. Because this means there's something very wrong with the story. Now, it makes you believe that he's been secluded, as Mr. Peter Hyatt has said in his commentary. Please check out his video on the parents' interview, because I pretty much agree with most of the things he said about the behavior of the parents and the child. The child was secluded, that's obvious. Because you're talking about 5 weeks in, 4 or 5 weeks in, and you haven't heard one person get on the news and talk about dealing with Sebastian. I haven't even heard nothing from a school teacher. Uh-oh. Why not? He's a great kid. He does really well in this, and this. Oh, I miss seeing Sebastian and come on with it, Queen, down here. Damn, you go to school, can't nobody even say nothing good about him. What about the bus driver? You don't got nothing good to say about the little boy? See, it's what you're not hearing is what's really telling the story. You don't hear one positive story about a 15-year-old autistic boy. Why not? You live in this nice neighborhood, rural America, and you mean to tell me out of all the relatives that she has, Mr. Proudfoot has, Seth has, y'all ain't got no positive damn story to tell me about somebody been on top of this dirt 15 years? Come on now. Not even, he throws a tantrum, he throws a fit, he's combative, he's this. Tell us something. Or maybe there is more to the story. As I said in my commentary the other day, no reason to ever hurt a child, harm a child. But are we talking about a child that was disruptive, was combative, hard to handle, hard to maintain, was rambunctious, which we did hear that by Mr. Proudfoot. He was rambunctious. Is this why nobody's dealing with the child? Why they didn't take the child around anybody? Because they knew nobody would want to be bothered with the child, deal with the child. He'd be too hard to manage. They didn't want to hear any complaints later, so we'll just deal with them ourselves so we don't have to have any problems out of the neighbors, out of family members. That would be sad. That would be very sad. So that's why I was asking the level of his autism. How were they managing it? How were they treating it? Did he ever go see anybody for his autism, such as a counselor? Any type of, psychiatric management? I don't know, because I don't know what's really going on. But I know I'm not hearing anything about the boy from outsiders, and that's bothersome. And as Mr. Hyatt said in his commentary, when it comes to DHS, by law, they can't tell you what's going on in an investigation. They're not going to come forward from other states and tell you everything that happened with them and Mr. Proudfoot, Mrs. Proudfoot, Seth, or anybody else, because it's against the law. So somebody's holding a bag of secrets, I'm sure, and you are never going to know the truth. You're going to have an eyewitness who you can trust to give you the 411. And that's just as dangerous. So now let's go to Seth. Many people are rallying behind him because he seems so in tune to his child, wanting his child. Once again, why is it this late in the game this man wants custody of his child? You all don't find that strange? I do. I also find it strange that he wants custody of his child, or supposed to be getting custody of this child. This child goes missing while Mr. Proudfoot trying to get custody of his child. Ding, 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 ding. Connect the dots. Lord have mercy, is something off here. I mean, a 2-year-old could pick this story up and say, woo, honey, there's some smoke in the city. This ain't right. Sure ain't. Say it again, Queen, because somebody didn't hear you in the back. trying to get custody of his child. Say it again, Quinn. Proudfoot's trying to get custody of his child. A whole child in his house goes missing, and that child's bio father was supposed to be getting custody of him. I'll let that sit right there. Lord have mercy. As the old black folk would say, it's a leak in this old building. Yes, it is. It's a big old leak. Because that's strange in itself. It's just a vicious circle. I want my child to come to this house. This house got a whole child missing, and that child's daddy wanted him. Ding, 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 ding. So I'm going to say it again. Do the Proudfoots get along with Mr. Seth? If they haven't been getting along, when did it start? How did the boy child actually get along with Mr. Seth? He doesn't speak ill of the child. So one was just a child got along fine. But could he manage the child, Mr. Seth? That's all I want to know. Could these parents manage the child? Was there hatred for the child by the Proudfoots? Did the child become too much to manage? Because as Mr. Hyatt has said, when you're dealing with autistic children, individuals, it is a lot to deal with. It is a full responsibility, and it's possibly more hard to deal with than dealing with your average child, depending on the issues that your child has in life. Because you're possibly talking about a lifetime responsibility. Because if this child could not go out on his own and navigate at the age of 18 and beyond, he is now a lifetime responsibility. So whatever plans you had for your life and things you wanted to do, you're not going to be able to do them without having an alternate person to take care of the child. Now, one would say, well, let's just say she hurt the child, her, Mr. Proudfoot, either or both, covered it up. Why? As I always say when it comes to true crime, don't ask why, ask why not. You're judging it from your point of view. Your point of view don't count because you're not the person. I did it because I could. I don't need an explanation why I want to kill my baby. I don't need an explanation why I want to kill my child, kill my husband, kill my wife. I did it because I could. The reason makes sense in murdering a child, if this is what we're talking about. Rambunctious, too hard to deal with, combative, falling out, temper tantrums, violent, or I just don't want to carry the burden anymore. That's usually the number one reason, no matter what's wrong with the child or not wrong. Because everything's about perception. I don't want to be bothered with no autistic kid anymore. Do you understand that? I want to live. I want to go out for the night. I don't want to find a babysitter. I don't want to pay nobody to babysit a 15-year-old. I don't want to take care of an 18-year-old autistic kid. I don't want to be attached to a 25-year-old autistic kid. I don't want to be responsible. Because see, this is what some of you are going to say. You're going to say, Queen, now, I don't understand that because he has a father and the father seems to care. So why kill your kid? Because you're not listening. So I'm going to say it again. I don't want any ties to him or her, period. I don't want people looking at me to think that I don't want ties to the child, minor or an adult. Because I'm going to always be tied to him, her, because I'm their mother, I'm their father, and you're expecting me to care, and I don't. I want out. I want to be free. I don't want to be obligated anymore. I don't want to have to look after nobody anymore. I want to walk out the door, barefoot, shoes on, high heels, lipstick, whatever. And I ain't worried about nobody. I ain't got to be responsible for this kid. Could be spite. Tired of dealing with him, hard to deal with, sick of the daddy, boom. Old saying, kill two birds with one stone. Checkmate. Say it again, Queen. Kill two birds with one stone. Very reason why I believe a female in Knoxville killed her 5-year-old biracial child because she was tired of dealing with the baby daddy. Uh-oh. Shut up. They don't hear you. I ain't got to deal with the baby daddy no more. I knock off this baby. She's the catalyst of this baby daddy. So long as that child is breathing, I got to keep dealing with this abusive ass black man that I done laid down and made a kid with, and he's pissing me off and he keeps coming around. I got a new dude in the picture. I want baby daddy to get some damn air. So what's the common denominator? The 5-year-old. She's the reason for the season. I knocked this baby off. Baby daddy has no reason to come around me anymore. He has no reason to bother me, stalk me, beat me up, call me names. Poof! Voila. Gone. Magic. You see, the only way you're going to be able to understand why people unalive, you have to get into the head of that type of person. Some of you can't do it. That's why you keep asking the same question over and over. Why? And I keep telling you the same answer. Why not? You're judging it according to how you live, what you think is right. Well, that's not the real world. Because when you are jacked, you know everything's really great. If only. I'll be okay if only. If only this baby daddy get the hell out of my way. If only this kid would act right. If only somebody come help me with this kid. Somebody would help me. If only I could be single again. It's the reason why we have a lot of dead people. If only. And I got a feeling that's the case with Sebastian Rogers. 2 people got tired of dealing with a 15-year-old autistic boy, and he had to go. Now, I want you to role play for just a second, because I think you've been role playing with me for just a little while, and I thank you for your patience. Fast forward to the camper attached to the truck. Come on, bring it home, Queen, because I'm going to check on out of here. I'm free. Ding, ding, ding. I'm free now. See, when I saw that picture on the Evil Exists channel earlier, but he has the video on private now, with that camper on the back of that truck, it all made sense to me, as I had already assumed anyway. But as they say, seeing is believing, and then once again, the flip side of seeing is also your interpretation of the information, because we all interpret things differently. When I saw the camper on that truck, the first thing I said to myself today, because I wasn't going to go live today because I hadn't been in the best mood today, but I wanted to go ahead and get this information out of here, because if I don't, I get behind in the information. I said, somebody's finally free. Shut your mouth. When I say Satan's a liar and he's a thief, he'll tell you anything and make you believe it. Say it again, Queen, because they don't hear you. He's a liar and he's a thief. And Satan will tell you anything to make you believe it. And that's what he has told the Proudfoots. You're free. camper up. You don't owe nobody no explanation. Let them take a picture. What black folks would love to say about that, take a picture, it lasts longer. Shut your mouth. Take a picture. Because I'm out of here. Woo, have mercy, I got chills up my spine. Lord have mercy. When I say the spirit moving right now, oh yeah. They think they're free. I can go where I want. I can do what I want. Because see, what you better be asking yourself is this, not what they do. Because I know God got it in the end. You'll probably find out she ain't getting ready to keep working where she working. Whoop, boom, boom, boom. Say it again, Queen. That heifer gonna quit her job if she actually works for whatever the hell company you say she works. Y'all know y'all sure be digging in folks' business, do you not? I don't have that kind of time because I don't like doing all that digging and spying and shit. I don't care for none of that stuff because I know the truth gonna come on out some kind of way anyway. So I don't do all that damn digging. But I'm gonna do it to you like this. Camper on the back of the truck, clothes packed, house sealed up. We're getting ready to go do us. Keep talking and gossiping and making YouTube videos and Facebook posts. And yeah, I'm gonna be sitting in the cut watching and looking. This Mr. Proudfoot, because he likes being on social media. He's a little superstar. He's a little superstar. You know, he think he Ryan Seacrest or somebody. He looking and lurking and trying to get all the 411 because y'all love talking about him. Yeah, the YouTubers keep making videos trying to make money off my son, my stepson. I hear Mr. Wells in the background calling Mr. Wells, calling Don Wells. Shut your mouth, Queen. Isn't it amazing how some people act the same and they live on one side of the country and the other live over here? Mm-hmm. They just talking about me, trying to make money off my stepson, them YouTube videos, asking for cash apps, this, that, and the other. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Well, I tell you what, cash app or no cash app, PayPal, no PayPal, Patreon or whatever, I sleeps good at night, Mr. Proudfoot. Checkmate. Do you sleep good at night? Do you hear the lambs calling? Are the lambs calling you Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot? Because they're going to keep calling until the truth comes out about Sebastian Rogers. See, they enjoying all of this. Probably Mr. Proudfoot more than the wife, because he's doing most of the talking. And she's probably telling him, you need to be quiet. You're talking too much. Because more than likely, he's the orchestrator. He's the leader. But no matter what, if I believe they unalive the boy child, she still rode the donkey ride some form of fashion. So to be, you just as damn guilty. Hell yeah, they gone. Hell yeah, they getting out of the way. Hell yeah, they want to see if you stupid enough to follow them around the country. And hell yeah, she'll probably quit her job and go set up somewhere, and he gonna stay in the camper with her. Because you know what I was thinking about? I was saying, Self, where does he stay when he's out of town? Oh, sucky now. Oh yeah, see, I ask all the questions don't nobody ask. I did. I said to myself, I said, Self, why he's been away working, because I don't know how long he's been on the road working, you know, out of town. First thing I said to myself, I said, well, is he staying at a hotel? Is the company paying for the hotel? Seems like that would get awfully lonely. Wouldn't he get lonely sometime? Wouldn't a man need the comfort of a woman? Now, see, some of y'all thinking, now, Queen, where is you going? You know damn well where I'm going. I'm going in the belly of the beast. Don't you think that lady gets lonely without her husband there? Because I started thinking some other uncertain things. What has Mr. Proudfoot been doing while he's on the road? Uh-oh, don't do it, Queen. I'm going to. Well, she can watch him now. Shut your mouth. Because she don't got no extra baggage to keep her home. Ding, 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 ding. So if Mr. Proudfoot has been a naughty boy, him wife with him now. And let's see how that works out. Oh, shit. See, I think of everything. Y'all weren't ready for that. Did it ever occur to any of you that getting rid of Sebastian is about to be worse with him gone? If Mr. Proudfoot's been playing footsies under the table with somebody else, shut your mouth, Queen. Don't you do that. I did. Now I got my wife with me. And how long you think that's going to work, them being together all the time? Now, I understand. You got to take a job where you can to make that paper, because you see they got a real nice house. But Lord have mercy, even if you miss a person to death, shit can change when you're hanging toe-to-toe, head-to-head every day. How about that? So what you thought was a problem, Sebastian Rogers, may not be your problem for long, because you done got rid of them, of course. But then you done now got you a new problem if you and Daddy don't get along, sitting up under each other all the time in that camper. And then you'll see how that unfolds. But then the gist of the story could be, or the flip side, he can't wait to be with her every day. He can't wait to go work every day and come home, stay in that little camper with her for however long they decide to do this little ruse. And she enjoys sitting there in the camper waiting on him to come home. I don't really know what they're up to and what their plan is, but we're getting ready to see. And I also think we're also going to see where this investigation is going. Please take the polls on my community page pertaining to Riley Strain, Sebastian Rogers, and all breaking news. And please listen to Mr. Peter Hyatt's video pertaining to his assessment of the parents' behavior and demeanor in their interview, because he says a lot of poignant things that nobody's talking about, which are the relationship between the child and the parents, the relationship between the child and others, DHS involvement, any abuse exacted by these two against the child. Why are there no other people talking about this child? It's strange and it's odd. 15-year-old boy, and nobody has anything to say about him publicly, positive or negatively. That's not normal. Where are his friends? Where are his friends? And I did see a clip of a video of somebody speaking about the snake and the owner having it, and I thought, well, why would the snake be gone? So I'm not even about to touch that. Another thing before I check out of here. Has all items in the house been accounted for? Shoes, coats, jackets? Have they gotten rid of anything pertaining to Sebastian Rogers? Uh-oh. Will we see stuff removing itself out of the house? Toys, games, personal effects. And will somebody please come forward to tell us something about this boy, who he is and his demeanor, because we are rightfully curious. Because I have a feeling this child was sequestered and he was lonely in his life. And I don't know if he ran away, shoes on, shoes off, met foul play out here, starved to death, crawled into something, went into water. Mr. Hyatt thinks he went into water, but then you have to ask what water is nearby for him to travel in. Did he meet somebody on the internet or in the neighborhood, met up with somebody from school? They said, hey, let's meet Sunday morning, Monday morning. What's the truth? Did somebody from Seth's family step in and intervene to take the child and they're hiding the child out? Or is it the worst case scenario? He was unalived by his caretakers, Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot, and they carried the child out into the night and disposed of him somewhere in the state of Tennessee or outside of Tennessee. The child discarded nearby his home, number one. Landfill in Kentucky, number two. From there to Memphis, Tennessee, or somewhere towards, hell, Alabama. I don't know. And who's the person that gave information for them to check that park? An hour and 38 minutes away. I find that very strange. And then somebody in the chat said, is that just a decoy? Could be, who knows? Are these people speaking? Seth, the mother, and Chris. If not, why? Mr. Chris, let the Queen talk to you for just a second. Do you believe these two unalived your child or hurt your child and discarded your child? Will you ever tell us the truth that you believe that perhaps your child is not alive and these two are the culprits? Will we get information from somebody else that could tell us what's going on in that house? Because I believe that house has a lot of secrets. And if the walls could talk, the windows will probably shatter. Where is Sebastian Rogers? I want to thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below this video. Make this content go viral. Please check my community board for said updates, polls. Next live stream is going to be about the Menendez brothers. We're going to go deep into the belly of the beast and see if there's new information that can exonerate the brothers that one of the Menudo brothers was sexually assaulted by their father. Is that true? Is it hype? Is it rhetoric? We're going to go back in time to talk about the murder of their parents. Was it justified homicide ×2? Did this man sexually assault one or both of the children or other children? Were they right in killing their parents? Or was it just greed and sexual assault? Or was it just greed? That's my next live stream. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $sign again if you want your night cash out. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Lord have mercy. Thank you, Jesus. Lord, pray for this child. Prayers to the Strain family. Prayers for justice for this baby boy. And the one thing I thought was interesting in one of the videos I showed you today, they had green balloons up for Sebastian. I said, well, oh my goodness, does he like the color green as well, such as Riley Strain? How interesting. 2 ships passed, same state, missing. One found in a river, one still missing, 15 years of age. They like the color green. Scary and ironic is that. If you have information to the disappearance of this boy child, please call your local authorities or Hendersonville Police Department, TBI. Let's get this child found one way or the other. Prayers to those who actually care for the child. And please let everybody who is intervening in this story be of good faith and no disingenuous intentions. Amen. Thank you for your time. You've been listening to the Vault XL.